Hello, everyone. How are you today? Let's see if we get anybody on here. Um, Welcome to Travel Thursday. I have not been on here in a while, but I kept getting lots of questions about Tulum, so that's why I decided to come on here right now. So we'll let people come on and place your questions down below so that as I'm talking, I can answer you along the way. Um, yeah, but how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. And I'm going to try to, yeah, I can see the post in here as well. Okay, so hey, Darian, how are you? Darren, how are you? How's everybody doing tonight? Again, welcome to Travel Thursdays. I normally do Travel Thursdays, but of course, since we have not been traveling as much, I have not been on here consistently. But I am back from Mexico for all those people that are wondering and asking. Hey, Tanisha, how are you? So yes, I'm back. So let's get straight into. Well, actually, let me do Thankful Thursdays because I always do that first. So my Thankful Thursday is just thankful that I am back home, made it back home safely. And so that's a big plus because obviously we are traveling during a pandemic. So that is always scary as well. So again, I made it back safely. Hi, is that Arch Bates I see looking on? Okay, so let's get straight into it. Again, stop me if you have any questions. You can shout out your Thankful Thursday. I'll shout it out along as we go through the live. So let's start back a little bit about why I decided to go to Mexico. People are saying Mexico is like the new hotspot, and why is everybody going down there? But let's be honest, let's be real about why we're going down to Mexico. Mexico does not have any quarantine restrictions. The tickets are cheap, it's close to home. So those are some of the reasons that people are going down there. And because a lot of places are just not open for Americans right now. There is a list floating around where people can go to, so you guys can check out that list. If I find it, I'll link it below after the live is over. So let's take a little bit step back. So just starting from the beginning, I am from Los Angeles, California. So the LAX airport is very close to me. So that's where I normally fly out of. I actually flew out. Well, actually, I was going from LA to Cozumel. So I looked up flights to go to Cancun. But Cancun was a little bit more expensive when I was first looking at the tickets. And if you guys know me already, I am a budget traveler, so I'm always looking for how can I get to my destination the cheapest. So initially, I was going into Cozumel. In Cozumel, I would have had to take a ferry over to Playa del Carmen, if you guys are familiar with that. But I didn't have to do that because, hey, Arlene, how are you? I didn't have to go through Cozumel, or that was initially. Let me remember what happened. Okay, so basically, I get to the airport, and yeah, so that's why you should probably pack before, make sure you have your Uber, everything, all of that going on. So basically, I think I should have been at the airport at around maybe 6:15 in the morning. And so by the time I got the Uber and all that kind of stuff, I made it to the airport around like 6:17. So if you remember, you have to be at the airport at least 45 minutes before your flight if you are checking in a bag. If you have a carry-on, you should be good, but I was checking in a bag. So I get there 6:15. Hola Sandra, ¿cómo está? So I get there at around 6:17. I'm hopping at the Uber at 6:17. So by the time I get in line to check in my bag, the guy was like, yeah, the check-in is over. So he's like, you can try to go down to the other department and see what they can do. I get down there. now. Let's say it's about 6:21 maybe. So now we're the minutes are crucial as to why I'm saying this. So now we're like 6 minutes in over the time of this check-in baggage. Now, sometimes the airlines will work with you, okay? Well, American, which is I'm not blaming them, but they were not willing to work with me for that 5 minutes that I got there late. So the guy was like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to make this flight. He was helpful. I say he was helpful in the fact that he looked for a flight to see if I can get on the next flight. I don't think there was another flight out that Monday. And so he looks around and then he grabs a trash bag. And the trash bag that he grabs is like a tiny, it's not one of the large trash bags. I may have taken his offer, but it was one of the little trash bags. And he was like, well, you can put some of your stuff in here. You can still catch the flight because remember, had I had a carry on, then I would have been okay. So I looked at the trash bag and I looked at him and I was like, thank you, but no thanks. Let's see if we can get another flight. So shout out to him for trying to be helpful with this trash bag. Unfortunately, just wasn't a good option. But anyway, so he tried to figure out flights. I was supposed to get there on a Monday, I believe. So there were no other flights out that day. There were no other flights out Tuesday, Wednesday. There might have been a flight out Thursday. I don't know. But the point is, I didn't make that flight. So basically, I had to go back home and turn around. I think I was more irritated that I missed the flight because I Ubered to the airport. So I feel like I wasted Uber money. But other than that, I wasn't really too worried about it. There were some things that I wanted to do kind of before I left anyway. And so I felt like that gave me a chance to do that. So I feel like everything ended up working out. So I go back home. I try to call American Airlines. Well, the guy, I guess he put in the computer to say that I don't know, you had to have an excuse because I guess my excuse wasn't good enough. So the excuse he told me, or I don't know, maybe he just put in the computer like, I don't know, something happened to where I didn't get there on time. Anyway, so I come back home. I try to call American Airlines to see if I can get this flight rescheduled. And with the flight reschedule, I think maybe that Friday they were going to charge me like $25. And I was like, nope, I don't want to pay that either. So I just went the following Monday. So yeah, so flight delay. That was the people was like, how did you get your flight delay? You fly all the time. So that actually has been the first flight that I have missed. And technically, I say I didn't miss the flight. It was just I couldn't check in my luggage. Therefore, I couldn't get on the flight. But that hadn't happened. Ooh, the last time I missed my flight was probably about over 10 years ago. So I feel like my track record is still really good right now. But I would not advise obviously getting to the airport late. Plan ahead. There was no traffic or anything early in the morning. It was just no fault of anybody's except for mine. And so that's key. That's rule number one. Make sure that you get there or give yourself enough time. Do not be like me. The great thing was that again that I didn't have to be in Mexico at that particular time, but had I going on vacation and like I needed to be there for something, then I would have been screwed because again, there was no other flights out. Okay, so stop me anytime because I don't just want to be rambling and talk to myself. But yeah, stop me anytime if you have any questions about what I'm talking about. Anyway, so fast forward to the new Monday that comes around. I actually make my flight, which was cool. So I was on American Airlines and American Airlines. Oh, okay. So originally I told you that they were flying me into Cozumel, and I would have to take a ferry over to Playa del Carmen. But the airline actually sent me an email and said, "Hey, your flight may be full. Would you like to switch your flight to Cancun?" And so I felt like Cancun was easier than me taking a ferry over to Cozumel. So that was also a blessing in disguise that I didn't have to deal with the ferry as well. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Get on the flight at LAX. It was early morning, so I can't really tell if like things were really open, or I can't remember if they were open or not. But I don't think I ate at the airport. And getting on the flight, there were people asked about social distancing, and was the middle seat open? No, the middle seat was not open. So if you are looking for a middle seat to be open, don't fly American Airlines. I hear like Delta is doing middle seat open, and I can't remember who else. So if you guys know, you can comment in the section about it. And when you get on the airplane, they hand you a little bag, and in the bag, I think it had a bottle of water, hand sanitizer, and maybe some nuts or some snacks. I can't remember what it was. Whatever it was, it's just one little snack. So, and that is to prevent them from doing the service of, drinks and all that kind of stuff, just so that they don't have to touch as much as they can. So when I initially walked onto the plane, I thought that the flight was not going to be full because that's how it appeared when I first walked. I was like, okay, yay. But it ended up being a full flight by the time I sat down. Alicia says, "Good. I'm headed there in November. Happy to hear your thoughts." Yeah, absolutely. So what happened after that? Lost my train of thought. Okay, so yeah, so it ended up being full. I ended up having somebody next to me. I think no, she was on the out seat. I had the window seat, and she had a little girl. So the daughter was in between us, but I actually think the daughter ended up going to the daddy, which was in the next aisle over. So technically, I did have the middle seat to myself. But had she sat there, then it would have been not empty. Alicia says I'm flying with Delta. Middle seats are blocked up. Yep. See, Delta is following that policy. So it just depends on what airline you want to fly. And then so that was for I flew from LA to Texas. And then my next flight was from DFW to Cancun. And so that flight was actually not very full at all. I don't know if people just weren't flying or anything like that. So technically, I don't know, because people keep talking about that. I don't know if you can really social distance on a plane, because even if you have the middle seat open, there's still people around you, before you, and yet on the side of you. But anyway, I believe I had my own seat to myself, and I'm trying to remember these things. I'll be putting out a YouTube video, so if you missed this or anything like that, it'll just show kind of more of a visual of what I taped at the airport and stuff like that. So I was glad to see that the flight was not full. In terms of mask and stuff, your mask have to be on at all times. They'll keep repeating it over the intercom system on the plane. And I guess if they see you, they'll tell you like, "Hey, you need to pull your mask up." So in terms of oh, I think they maybe gave us sanitizer when we got on the plane as well. So that's in terms of like COVID stuff. So yeah, that's how they work that. And so I arrived in Cancun. And in Cancun, there is a bus. So there are several many options. If you're staying in Cancun, then you'll probably go straight to your airport or your resort or whatever the case is. But if you're planning to go to a different city, then you'll do that. So what I did was I went straight. There's something called an Ado bus. That's ADO. And the Ado bus is a very cheap alternative to like hiring a driver or hiring a taxi. And you literally go walk a little bit. I think it's past like where the rental cars are. And again, I'll put this all in the YouTube video. So you'll see a visual of where the place is at. And so I want to say the Ado bus was maybe $15. I can't remember how much it was, but it was cheap. It's going to be more expensive coming from the airport. So it was very self-explanatory. I got the ticket. Oh, what? I'm sorry. Let me go back. Before I got on the ADO bus, I did exchange money. I think I maybe exchanged like $20. But when I went to the Ado bus counter, I think I just paid with my card so that I can have my money. So a lot of times I do tell people don't exchange all of your money at the airport, exchange just some of it, because you get a less exchange rate if you were outside of the airport. Okay. And their money is in pesos. And I think right now maybe 20 or 21 pesos to a dollar. So yeah, so that's the exchange rate. Okay, so Alicia says, I didn't have it on my first time in Cancun because I was nervous, but it seems really easy. Yes, it was super, super easy to get on the bus. After they gave me their ticket, um, the bus station is kind of like around, but if you ask people where it's at, they'll just take you straight to it or like point it out and you'll see everybody and they'll put it on the bus. The bus is air conditioned, it's very clean, it's very nice. There is no social distancing on the bus. I feel like they fill the bus up. So if you're uncomfortable with that, then obviously take the taxi or whatever the case is. But like I said, I just got off the airplane with a plane full of people, so it didn't bother me that they had filled the bus up as well. And then the ride from Playa del Carmen was, I don't know if it was like maybe a good 45 minutes. We may have had maybe one stop before that. I can't really remember. So it was a straight flight, and they had a movie on. It was movies in Spanish. It was a weird little movie. Now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so get to Playa del Carmen, get off. I was spending time with friends in Playa, so I always ask people in terms of, I hate taking taxis, but when I asked the people before, like, hey, how much should my taxi cost? So when I got out of the bus station, the taxis were all there, and they were trying to charge me, I think, 150 pesos. But I was like, no, because my friends told me it only should have been like 50 pesos. So I know they're, overcharging me. Mind you, I'm coming off the bus with a luggage, and so they're gonna charge you the more expensive price. So Tanisha says, do you know if the adult bus has specific hours? So actually, Tanisha, the bus runs literally all day. The latest bus probably runs at 10 o'clock. I know it ran from 10 o'clock from Tulum back to Playa del Carmen. So yes, you can see the hours online. So you can book your ticket, your adult bus ticket ahead of time, or you can book it at the when you get off the plane. I just booked it off the plane because I didn't know how long it was going to take me to go through immigration and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, back to immigration coming off the airplane. It was very quick, very easy. I think there was a dog that might have sniffed me. And but I think he was looking for food though. Well, I guess he could be looking for drugs, but I think he was looking for food. I think I had a banana or something, so they took the banana, but it was cool because I was like, hey, can I take a picture with the doggy? So they were cool about that. And Tanisha said, is Uber in Cancun or is it just taxi? Yeah, there's no Ubers in Cancun as far as I know. It's just taxi, because I definitely would prefer to take like a Uber or like a Lyft, because at least I know what at least I know how much I'm gonna get charged for, because taxis, it can, what you can be at the same place and one day it's $5 and the next day it's $10, which is, okay, not okay, but whatever. That's why I hate taxis. But yeah, there's only taxis, Tanisha. Okay, so okay, back to my taxi in Playa del Carmen at the bus station. So I was like, nope, I'm not paying 150 pesos to go to my friend's house. So I walked a little bit further down, and so just like a block or two down, I got a cheaper taxi. So again, people may not care and they'll just pay the money, but again, like I'm like, I need to stretch my money, so I'll just pay the cheaper route. So anyway, got to my friend's house, no problem. A lot of people ask about, hey Jonathan, how are you? A lot of people ask about Spanish. No, I do not speak Spanish. I know a little bit, poquito español. I don't know a whole lot of Spanish. And I can still communicate with them. So I just say the numbers. So if it's 20 with us 20, 15, and I'll say the address, or I will show them a picture of the address in my phone, and then we kind of go from there. But make sure that you negotiate the price before you get into the taxi, because obviously if you negotiate later, then that's whatever the price, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be higher than if you did not get in the car originally. Anyway, so I got to my destination in Playa del Carmen. Again, I stayed with some friends. And just talking about Mexico in general, there are a lot of people moving down there. And when I say moving down there, I mean getting rid of their stuff and living there. So Mexico is really cheap. You can get a two-bedroom apartment for $700, 800. And then remember, I just talked about the exchange rate. So your pesos are going further, which is why it's cheaper to live down in Mexico. Okay. So in Playa del Carmen, I really didn't do too much. I think we just kind of sat around, relaxed, ate, went to the beach, hung out with a couple of the expats that live there. And so for me, it was nice just to hear like how they came to Mexico, what are they doing, and different things like that. And so this whole discussion came up. Hey Amanda, hey Patricia. This whole discussion came up about utilizing services in Mexico, right? So the discussion came up about, hey April, the discussion came up about like, do we utilize services back here at home? Like, do you have a maid? Do you have maybe a chauffeur? Do you have somebody that comes and does your hair? Do you have like all these different services? And so I was like, no, I don't have these services. I was like, I wish I did. And so it was like, well, hey, if you live in, hey, Michael, how are you? It's like, well, if you live in Mexico, then you can have these services. So basically, what you're telling me is that I can live the rich life in Mexico. Oh, okay. I think I want to live this type of life. So it's very interesting conversation. Hey Dan, it was very interesting conversation to see what people lifestyles are and what they could become. So let's say I pay 12 something for rent. That could definitely get me a 2 bedroom in Mexico plus all these other services. And life is just easier if I have a maid come and clean up once a week or twice a week, or if I have a driver. I don't have to. LA traffic is crazy, not as bad since the COVID, but normally our traffic is really bad. So if I can have these services, live in luxury, and going about my life is just wonderful, right? Hey, why not? So you will see a lot of people ask, are there a lot of black people down there? Lots of black people down there. And there are pockets of communities and Facebook groups. So if you search Playa del Carmen, you're gonna see an expat group for that. Like they get together, they have meetups, or you just know people. So the good thing about going down to Mexico, I got a chance to see a lot of people that I only see online. And so it was cool to actually put a face to the name and see how people are. And most people were really cool. Hi Tracy. Akeem said, could you see yourself living there? Absolutely. Playa del Carmen is very much the city. There's Walmart, there's Home Depot, there's whatever else you can think of. There's Burger King. Like there's stuff there that is very similar to here in terms of driving. The driving is the same. There's no opposite side of the road. A lot of the roads, like going from Playa to Tulum and from Cancun, is just a straight route down. And I actually drove while I was out there. So I definitely feel like I didn't rent a car; I was in somebody else's car. But yes, I could definitely see myself living down there, especially since the quality of life is very similar, but just add some beaches. And I live in LA, so yes, I have beaches down the street for me, but I can't walk to those beaches. I can walk to the beach in Playa. I can walk to the beach in Tulum, so they're just a little bit closer. Hey Sarita, how are you? So yes, I could definitely see myself living there. And what was I about to say about Playa? Oh, okay. So, Adele, tell me. I always mess your name up. Tell me how do you say it phonetically so I don't mess it up. I just booked an in-home massage for 27 USD for the weekend. I love Mexico, and Adelia is living in Mexico right now. So yes, there's nothing like a good massage. So if I can pay $27 for in-home massage, which you already know, you go to a massage parlor and it's what it could be $100, $150 for services, and she's saying that she brought someone to the house and it was only $27. So Playa del Carmen is the best. Michael says, so when you're moving, I know I need to take a move. I need to say when my move date is. It's funny because I feel like while I was there, Adelia. Okay, there we go. Thank you for that. That's so much easier, Adelia. So when am I moving? Like I said, I need to get a date together. Everybody was trying to convince me. I felt so much peer pressure to just move out there. They're like, Tiffany, just stay. There's a community, it's cheap, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dang it. Like, I really wish that I could have moved. I mean, I really would love to move down there. Mexico was never Mexico was never on my list of places to move. I hadn't even thought about Mexico. I've only been to places like Ensenada and Mexico City, but again, being in the community down with everybody and seeing that everybody else can do it, it was like, oh hey Tiffany, I think you can actually do this as well. Hey Ruth, hey Miss Robinson, and no, there's two Miss Robinsons. Okay, so Tanisha says, what in-home massage server did you use? Okay, Adelia, I think she's talking to you. So maybe you can give her that information. Okay, so like I said, in Playa, I didn't really do too much. Yeah, I think we went to the beach, went to a friend's house, and went to eat. Went to this very good fish place. So I don't know if you guys like whole fish, but if you like whole fish, it was absolutely great with some garlic butter bomb. I will say that Mexico food is a hit or a miss. And I say a hit or a miss because I noticed that they don't use a lot of seasoning. I'm not even a salt person. I actually don't like salt. I prefer various seasonings. So I realized that some places were good about seasoning stuff, and then other places I'm like, okay, literally taste nothing. And then also I noticed like their sweets and stuff. I think that America is just horrible when it comes to food. We're putting all this type of sweetener. I feel like the natural juices taste like water to me. And that's really bad considering they're natural juices. I noticed that the sweets just were not giving me that sweet taste that I needed. So that would be good. If I moved out there, I probably wouldn't eat the sweets, which is great. Heat mixed with no sweets, mixed with walking. Yeah, that's a recipe for losing weight. So Michael says, I'm sort of living here in Mexico. Also, my lease ended, so I've just been in Mexico since. I have no clue when I'm coming back. Michael, what part of Mexico are you in right now? Hey Eve, how are you? Ruth says, I'm planning to move to Mexico to many amazing places. Ruth, what city are you going to move to? Ruth says, love all your vibes and your pics. Thank you. Michael says, what's the name of the fish place? De'Aaron, are you in here? Can you, De'Aaron was in here earlier. He knows the name of the fish place. So if you're still in here, can you put the name of the fish place so that Michael go? The juices, they actually do mix with water. Okay, Michael, well, maybe they put too much water in there because I'm just like, I had one drink. It was supposed to be banana, strawberry, and like mango. It looked so bomb and pretty, and then it just tasted like water. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be so good," and I was like, "Yeah, I'd rather just stick to straight water, or I'd rather have like some flavor in it." Okay. So Adelia says not a service, but an independent masseuse. I'm in Mexico City. I love Mexico City. I need to go back and visit because I was only there for a weekend, but I stayed at a really nice horse ranch. And it was like waterfalls, horses, massages, really, really nice. Okay, so Michael, the place is called El Parate. Is that how you say it? Michael says, I'm in Mexico City, but going to Playa Saturday and will look to stay for the month. Okay, well, there's a lot of people in Playa. Darren is in Playa, so there's a whole group of people that are in Playa. So maybe you can hook up with somebody. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but maybe you can reach out to them in that particular group. Okay, so that was Playa, right? And there's a place called Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue has like a lot of restaurants and stores and different things like that. So you can go down that street. And also, what was that? Dang it, I just lost my train of thought about what else there is in Playa that I was going to tell you guys to do. Dang it, I can't remember. But let's talk a little bit about the other thing I did do in Playa was I went to Xcaret. So I don't know if you guys see my post about Xcaret, where their Xcaret has like 8 different parks. And I went to, I guess, the main Xcaret. So it was a water park slash animal park slash nighttime show, but it included a buffet. So I definitely want to check out more of their parks as well. I can't swim. I've posted that so many times, even though I love the water. But check out the Xcaret because they have Xcaret Explore. So if you're super adventurous, when I go back, I want to try Senses. So there's a lot of different parks that I want to try. So check that out. It is a little bit expensive, but there's ways to get discounts for these parks. Okay, so Eve said Playa has amazing rooftop pools. We didn't do a rooftop pool. We were at someone's house. They had a pool downstairs, and I wasn't a rooftop. That's funny, but 2 separate occasions, and they weren't rooftop pools. They were 2 separate things. Hey Ebony, how are you? Okay, so yeah, so those are some of the things to do in Playa. Okay, so let's move on to hey Pritzy. She says hi Tiffany, good to see you are traveling. Yes, it was hard not to travel since January, I believe. So you talk about 6, 7 months, and I know the rest of the people that are travelers are slowly dying inside because they have not traveled. Okay, so let's move on to Tulum, Mexico. And keep the comments rolling. I love talking to you guys. So Tulum, Mexico. So from Playa del Carmen, I would say Tulum, Mexico is about maybe like a 45-minute ride, maybe even less. So again, there's different ways that you can get down there. You can rent a car. Like I said, I did not rent a car while I was there. I actually took the ADO bus down from Playa to Tulum, and I think it was like less than $10 to take the bus. So I know bus is cool with me. I will travel that way because I called a driver and I think he was like $65 just to get to Tulum from Playa. And while it sounded really nice, it was a little bit too rich for my blood. So I'm glad I paid less than $10 for this bus. And then I get to Tulum. I take a taxi to my Airbnb. My Airbnb was I loved my Airbnb where it was at. Like it was so there. If you go to Tulum, it probably won't make sense that I'm explaining it because you have not been there, or maybe you have. But Tulum only has like three main parts. So there's the hotel zone, there's Central, where there's shops and restaurants, and then there is like Aldea Zama, but most people don't go over there unless you're staying there. So I like the fact that my Airbnb was in Central. So my Airbnb was just, I think, had a room, living room, dining table, bathroom, and like a small little kitchen area. I didn't cook anything, so I didn't utilize the kitchen except for to put my water in the refrigerator. I had two TVs in there, but I think they were both in Spanish. So I did not ever watch Netflix. So yes, I like the location of the Airbnb. Sarup says Guadalajara, and I definitely miss traveling. Yeah, absolutely. I keep hearing great things about Guadalajara, so I'm gonna have to make it there one day. Okay, so the Airbnb, and it also had a pool and a jacuzzi downstairs. I never used the pool and jacuzzi. I wish that I would have though. Simply because yeah, it was available, but I was so busy that I didn't get a chance to use it. And then when I wanted to use it, I was actually leaving that day, and I was like, dang it, I should have used it. Anyway, so while I was in Tulum, there is a group called Black in Tulum, so you guys can join on the Facebook group. I just recently made a video, and the video is on the YouTube channel, so I'll link it if you have not watched that yet. So the Black in Tulum group is a Facebook group, and like I said, before you travel anywhere, look to see if there's a group available. I realized that the light is not on; it got really dark really quickly. So let me turn the light on. But I just so before you travel anywhere, I would say look up these groups to see if you that's okay. So I was solo traveling, right? So if you solo travel and you don't want to hook up with people, that's the great thing about solo travel. But if you do want to hook up with people, look for this Black in Tulum group. It was nice to I always like to see people that look like me. Of course, I like to hang out with the locals, but it was nice to know that there was a Black community out there. And so basically, the Facebook group is a wealth of resources. The people post like what to do, where to go, what to eat, different restaurants, different things like that. So I think it's a great resource. Okay, so Chantel said, this is off topic, but if you've done in Miami, please point me to it later. Okay, Chantel, no, I've been in Miami, but I have not been to Miami in like forever. In this group, I posted like, hey, anybody want to hang out? Blah blah blah, right? So I don't think I really got any. A lot of people were telling me hi, but I don't really think I got like, hey, like let's hang out. But it was okay because literally I would walk down the street and be like, hey, are you in the Black and Tulum group? And they're like, no, we haven't heard about it. So they would join it quickly. Or like I would literally, there was one day where I was walking down the street and I think I had just got a massage, talking about massages. That massage was like $39. It was really cheap for like an hour and it was really good. So if you're in Tulum, you can go to Cacao Tulum Spa, or you can inbox me. I'll give you the name of it. But anyway, so I went to this massage place, but before that, I was like, I should probably do my hair. I should probably get dressed, and I was like, I don't really feel like it. But I was like, I should because I know there's gonna be somebody I'm gonna see on this little strip walking down the street, and of course, I see like 5 or 6 people. So this is when I say that Tulum is small. So I'm pretty sure that you will run into somebody. And that particular day, I ran into this girl named Yolanda. And Yolanda was like, hey, are you in Black and Tulum? Are you a solo traveler? We're hanging out in the bar right now. You want to come and hang out and talk to us? And so I was like, okay, why not? So I go in and I talk to them. We meet this other couple that's there. And the other couple, we're just talking for a minute. We're like, so what are we doing tonight? And they're like, hey, you want to go to Taboo? Taboo's a popular restaurant out there. And so we're like, yeah, let's make the reservations. So we're like, all right. Go home and get dressed. They had a car, so they picked us, me and Yolanda, up, and we were on our way to Taboo. So we had a good night, not knowing each other, but two solo travelers meets a couple, and here we are having a good time at Taboo. Again, I love Yolanda. I love people that take pictures of you and actually send them to you. So Yolanda had a better phone than I did, and she sent those pictures every single night. So you need a good friend like Yolanda, okay? Hey, Mina, hey, okay, questions. Okay, I joined the BIT group and it looks like they have lots of event and yacht experience. I want to try. Yes. So that's what I mean about just kind of literally like running into people. Joan said sounds fun. Yes, it was super, super fun. What else did I do out there? Oh, speaking of Tanisha mentioned the yacht, I did do a yacht. I think I'm trying to I've been on cruises before, obviously, like so many. I don't know if I've been on a yacht. If I have, I can't recall right now. So the yacht was fun. At first, I wasn't gonna go, but it was fun. Somebody had a birthday party, and it was like, "Hey, who wants to join on the yacht party?" So I think there was only like 8 of us. So if you're planning to go to Tulum, there is that the BIT group, Black and Tulum group, I think has yacht experiences. Or if you decide that you don't want to go with them and your party is big enough to have your own yacht, you can do that as well. So the yacht is usually like 4 hours, and it includes, I think some may include food, but most just include snacks. Has some of the best shrimp ceviche. So I don't know if you guys like shrimp ceviche, guacamole, and like fruit. I don't know if you guys ever tasted jicama before. So jicama is just like a white, I don't know how to describe it. It's a white fruit. I think it's a fruit. I don't think it's a vegetable. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. And I feel like it has really no taste to it. But pour a little lime on there and pour like a little of that. What is it? I don't want to call it tangine salt. Y'all know the salt that I'm talking about. It's like red. Anyway, it's so good. So try that out. So I was really happy with my ceviche and guacamole on the boat. So the yacht was super fun. Mina said, "Did you go to Cozumel? Such a beautiful island." No, that's what I was saying. Minnie probably missed. I was supposed to fly into Cozumel, but I didn't. But I have been to Cozumel on a cruise, but I didn't go this particular trip. So jicama is amazing. Yeah, that sounds like it's really, really good. I'm super tangine, right? I said it right. Is that how you say it? So I like to shout out to myself because my food palate has definitely grown, y'all. I used to be the type of person that would not eat anything like onions, tomatoes, like anything that was different. I wasn't gonna eat it. We're talking about a hamburger. On a hamburger, all I wanted was mayonnaise, bread, the meat, and the cheese. Like that's it. I still don't like a whole lot of stuff on my I still don't like a whole lot of stuff on my hamburger, but like I'm starting to be like, okay, I can taste pico de gallo, or I can eat my like little onions with or onions on my taco. So like little stuff like that, y'all. I'm so happy because now with me traveling all the time, it's best that you try the different foods of the country that you're in. So I'm super excited that I'm trying these things. So it's tahine. Okay, so I'm saying it wrong. Tahine. So Michael says, "How was the hamburgers? I feel like the hamburgers be so thin." No, actually, I was on a beach club thing. I can't. I think it's Kai Beach Club. I was on Kai Beach Club, and Kai. Oh my God! When I tell you that this burger looked it so bomb, like aesthetically nice bun, hamburger, I think maybe it had lettuce, tomatoes, whatever the case it was. And the fries, it has so much potential. But what I said earlier about not having seasoning, like this hamburger had no seasoning at all. So I was like, oh, and it had bacon on it. So I was like, oh, I was so disappointed because I was like, it has so much potential and no seasoning at all. I had salt and pepper there, but again, I'm not a salt person. I want different seasonings on my hamburger. So it was thick and nice, but just no seasoning. So John said, why all the subgroups? The subgroups are specific to that particular place. So you don't want to be in a group that's, let's say, I'll choose No Madness, for example. Let's say No Madness, but No Madness covers everything. So if there's nobody in Tulum that has posted in No Madness, there's no point in me looking in No Madness for Tulum activities. So the subgroups are specific to where you are going. because we need that special focus on there. So if the BIT group is like, hey, who's in town? I'm a solo traveler. Anybody want to meet up? Then that's the purpose of the subgroups. And as a matter of fact, since people are moving down there, I want a subgroup because I want to know specifically about the place that I'm moving to. So Michael said, was it real American style bacon? Yes, real American style bacon. Um, and then local food is part of the experience. I love off the beaten path food, but I will still grab fast food on the run. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely say try the taco stands out there. Obviously they're super, super cheap and they're super, super yummy. So the same tacos that you can get at a restaurant that may cost you a whole lot more, it may even taste better at the local taco stands. There is so in Playa del Carmen, so you guys, there's a street where they have like taco not well like taco stands and like food trucks. And so one of the food trucks had like Belgian fries and like different sauces. So definitely if you're in Playa, go to that particular street down there. Okay, so what else did I say? I said the yacht party. What else did I do in Tulum? Oh, the cenotes. So go to the cenotes. Cenotes are just literally like a pool of water. Um, it has like a pool of water, and so the cenotes are beautiful. So the cenotes look kind of different. I heard that there's over thousands of cenotes in Mexico, so definitely try to hit some of those up because they're super super fun. So Burger King has something with tamarind. I'm scared to try. Hey, just try it and see if you like it. And I love I love street food when I travel. Exactly, like you have to try this street food. So again, yeah, I cannot swim. I always say this for my non-swimmers. So some of the cenotes are deep. So one of the cenotes I went to, if you guys saw my pictures, water super clear. If you guys never had a fish pedicure, then you can get a fish pedicure in this cenote. The fishies are definitely biting at your feet. They're supposedly be taking the dead skin off. When you first get in, it feels like, oh my God, like you're jumping because you're like, what the heck is this biting at my feet? And then after that, you're like, oh, okay, it's ticklish. And then you're like, okay, it's cool after you've been sitting there for a while. So for my people that, so Crystal says I did Casa de Torga Cenote. I kept hearing about that one, Crystal, but I don't think I went to that one. So people were jumping off the cliff into that cenote. So, but I had somebody who she couldn't swim, but she had on her life jacket. So if you're that daring and you want to put on your life jacket and jump off the cliff, go ahead. I was not that comfortable jumping off a cliff. I want to be able to do that, y'all. One of these days, I'm gonna be telling y'all my live where I know how to swim and I jumped off the cliff into the cenote. It wasn't this time though. So Michael says there's a ton of cenotes and some have yet to be explored. Absolutely. Crystal said, I love the cenotes. Tanisha said, did you go to cenotes alone or book a tour? So I went to, so one of the cenotes was with the BIT group, but I kind of came by myself and joined them, if that makes sense. So you can book a cenote tour or you can go by yourself, but you might as well just book a cenote tour. So myths are that it is like a portal to another world, sort of like the movie In Before Time. I haven't seen the movie Portal, Michael, but yes, I feel like they're beautiful and they just are. Some are just so deep, some are in caves, some are open. So yeah, I definitely say check it out. I'm probably gonna do this excursion where they take you to like 4 different cenotes the next time. So yeah, so that was super cool. And so the other cenote, the other thing that I did, so yeah, definitely check out the cenotes. The other thing that I did was I went to the monkey sanctuary and it's in Acumal and it's about 20-30 minutes away, but the monkey sanctuary will pick you up. I actually have a code for it. Well, actually, the code is Tiffany. I think in all caps. So if you want to go to the monkey sanctuary for 10% off, please use the word Tiffany under where it says do you have a discount code. That's TIFFANY. And at the monkey sanctuary, they are rescuing these animals. So we got a chance to see the animals. And after we saw the different animals, we did the ATV riding, which I always love ATV riding. It's just fun. Some people don't like it, some people do, but I loved it. One part I think was like flat land, and the other part was very bumpy. So I felt like I was on a roller coaster. And then at the end of the ATV ride, it started raining. So it was just all part of the experience. You got the rain, it's blowing in the wind. I was like, this is life right now, riding ATVs in Mexico. And then after the ATV ridings, you go to another cenote. And the cenote was an underground cave cenote. I don't think I posted that picture yet, but I'll post it. The water was so pretty and it was just so clear. You're in this cave, and so you can swim as well in there too. You can stand up again for my non-swimmers, but you can go out far where you can actually swim. You can put the life vest. I didn't put the life vest on because I can stand up in the water. But I think if I wanted to go a little bit further out, then you can swim, because some people did do that. So definitely go to the Monkey Sanctuary. Use my code Tiffany for the 10% off. And I thought it was a good day. I think you go in the morning or the afternoon time. I'm a night person, so I chose to go in the afternoon. And so remember, as a solo traveler, I went alone on this excursion, and there was actually three other Black couples that were on the excursion with me. So it was all good, and they ended up being super, super cool. I'm My two favorites, they're probably not watching, but John and his girlfriend, they were super, super cool. And so I enjoyed them. And it's all about, like, even if you don't know people, like meeting that particular couple. Like, I think I went to the bathroom and John was like, "Hey, where's our friend at? Like, we can't leave her." So it was like we literally had just met 30 minutes before, and they're already looking out for me. And you guys saw the picture where I was holding the snake, and it's like I was so scared to hold the snake, y'all, right? I know people say, "Oh my God, you look so brave." I'm really not that brave. I'm really a scary cat. Anyway, so they were like, "No, you gotta do it. You gotta hold the snake, blah blah blah." So I just feel like there people that you don't know will root you on and be like, you can do it. And so that's super cool too. And that is one of the reasons why I love traveling, because you just meet so many great people. And so people kept telling me, for my pictures, they were like, "Tiffany, you just look so happy, you look like you're having fun." When I tell y'all that I was just so happy in Mexico, like I just felt very at peace. Like it was just such a good vibe, just meeting people, and just like my happy place is the beach. So when I can go to the beach and hang out, when I can see at nighttime, I can see the moon shining, a full moon across the water, and having the water just be so warm. Like to me, that is the life for me. I don't know what your happy place looks like, or what will be good for you, but those things are really wonderful to me. What else did I do out there? So the meetups, there are meetups. Some of the meetups are put on by Black in Tulum. Some of the meetups are put on by other people, and they're posted in Black in Tulum. So one night, the organizers, Ryan and Shauna, they put on an event called Tribal Thursdays. And Tribal Thursdays was just like a meetup at a rooftop pool bar, which was fun. So we got a chance to get in the pool, and people were nice. They're like, "Hey, Tiffany, I don't drink." They're like, "Tiffany, you want what is it called? A mezcal?" I guess that's like a Mexican drink. I'm like, "No, just give me a virgin mojito." But they're, just everybody just cool, and we're just vibing in the pool, like just having such a good time. I don't think I posted those pictures yet either. So there's so many more pictures that I have to post that I have not posted yet, but you guys will keep them. I mean, they will keep coming to you. And thank you all just for your support of liking and commenting on the pictures and stuff like that. And what other meetup was there? There's a Welcome Wednesdays that Black and Tulum have. Again, it's just a meeting. I mean, it's just a meetup where people can come hang out, and then usually we end up going somewhere else after that. So that's the other cool thing about solo traveling, is that it's like if I had somebody with me, then I would have to ask them like, "Hey, should we go this place? Should we do that? Like, or should we go back home?" Like these are things that you have to do when you're with somebody else, or when you're with a group of people. So that's another aspect of solo traveling that I love, because I can just be like a little butterfly, and I can float where I want to float. I don't have to ask any questions. I can get back home when I want to. And so I think that's the really cool thing about solo traveling. I'm trying to think, what else did I do while I was there? I don't know what else I did. I think that was, I don't know. People say it looked like I did a lot, but I was really chilling a lot. But Tulum is like one of those. Um, okay, Michael says, "So much peace. I invested in waterproof headphones, and I will sit in the ocean." Oh, that's cool. Where did you get those from, Michael? Did you get those from Amazon? I would have never thought about waterproof headphones, because yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love the sound of the water, from the waves, but I think that's a cool aspect to have, waterproof headphones, especially if you're just chilling here on a vibe. So mezcal used to be looked down upon, but now it's trending. Okay, so mezcal is the drink. I still don't know how it tastes because I don't drink, so I would have to get y'all opinion on what it tastes like. But yes. What else did I do while I was down there? I'm trying to think, y'all. I don't know what else I did down there. Yeah, I think that was kind of much it about my little activities. Um, and like I said, the food I would have to say was a hit or miss. At the Tribal Thursday meetup, there was a place that was called Elixir, and Elixir has some bomb shrimp tacos. Those were super good, and usually the Mexican tacos are the smaller shells, and I would say American have the larger shells. So this actually had the large shells. I don't know what was in that taco because it was nighttime. So I could not see what was in there, but when I tell you whatever it was oozing out, and it was wonderful. Definitely the best shrimp tacos I had tasted down there. I'm trying to think of what else I thought was really good. Oh, I love breakfast food, so I found a really good breakfast spot um that would make omelets for me. Oh, okay, you guys know what I like. Michael, you tell me. I'm pretty sure you tasted these. Chile Aquiles. I love that. So I went to Hotel Xcaret and they had it for breakfast. And I was like, oh, this is yummy. And so I found a restaurant that does it too. So it to me is like nachos, but they usually have like the red or the green sauce on there. And you can top it with like chicken or I guess shrimp or like cheese. And I don't know what else, but I really, really liked it. Okay, so Adelia said mezcal is very smoky. Okay. What else is in that drink? And Michael said Amazon, they're called, I don't know how to say that. C will buy waterproof MP3 player. So those are the headphones that are waterproof. And yep, I stay with Get Green with Chicken. Yes, super, super good. And okay, so Tanisha is asking me. Okay, wait 1 second, Tanisha. Let me see about what other food did I eat that was good. I told you about the fish that was good. That was in Playa. And I had lamb burger at Taboo. It was just okay. And I'm trying to think where else did I eat that was just like so bomb. That's what I'm telling you. I can't just say, oh my god, it was so bomb. It was like very few and far between. I tasted a pulled pork taco, which I need to get the name of it because somebody said this show has been on TV before, and I really like the pulled pork. The pulled pork has the juices, and so that was really good. But do not expect they do have sour cream, but do not expect like how we would make our tacos out here. I would put like tomatoes and like cheese and like sour cream and like what else do we put on American tacos? Whatever, lettuce. Like, okay, you're not getting that in Mexico. You're getting the Mexican way that they cook tacos. Okay, so mezcal is made from agave. It's like the brother of tequila. Okay, I've never tasted tequila, so there y'all go. If that's a drink that you guys are drinking. Yes. Okay, that's it about the food. And like I said, the desserts, I feel like they just didn't have any sweetness to it. Oh, but you know what? I did taste tres leches cake at Xcaret, and I thought it was really good. I didn't think that I was gonna like it, but I did like the tres leches cake. Okay, so Tanisha said, "How was the drone photo shoot?" Okay, so that drone photo shoot was in Playa and Playa. So De'Aaron, I don't know if he's still on here, but if you're interested in the photo shoot and you are going to Playa, and he may travel to Tulum. So if you want his information, Tanisha, let me know. And I will tag I can tag him when I get off the live. I can tag him in here so that you can have his information. But yes, he's from Black Travelgram, so you can look them up on Instagram. He did the drone video for me, and he also did those photos that I took in the bathing suit. That bathing suit is from Ghana. And it was fun making that drone photo shoot. It was hilarious. I'm like walking down the aisle, and my friend is like, they were looking at you like you were crazy. They're probably laughing at you too, but it was so fun making that drone video. I'm gonna tell him to send me the raw footage because I'm like running down the beach like I'm on Baywatch, but it was not as sexy as Baywatch. So it was super funny. But yeah, I should show you guys the raw footage as well because it was hilarious. But I had fun doing that, and it was super cool because talk about the weather. It is, as a matter of fact, I'm hot right now, so I'm like wiping off sweat. Sorry. But in Mexico, it is super hot out there, y'all. Super, super hot. So I would say wear less clothes as possible. I'm not telling you to walk around naked, but you can wear your bathing suit top and shorts. Like, it's super hot out there, so don't take all these clothes. Like, I had like a little cardigan and I didn't wear it at all because it was just not needed. And so it rains a lot. So it will rain for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then it'll stop. So when we were on our yacht party, it was storming on the yacht party. And I wouldn't have tripped except for when it started storming. We were supposed to dock in a place where I could get out and the water would only go to my waist. But because of the storm, we could not dock over there, and that's where the other Black people were partying at. So I was a little disappointed about that. And so we docked on the other side, which I was not about to get in because it was a lot deeper. And so I decided to stay on the boat. But I mentioned the weather because in that drone photo shoot, the rainbow ended up coming out. I don't think I posted those pictures on my main page where you see the rainbow. But the rainbow looks very pretty. So you will see rainbows, but you will also see a lot of rain. But don't worry, it's like the Caribbean, and so it goes away really quickly. So Michael says, "Oh, I actually make tres leches." Oh, Michael, do you? I make the fake kind. I use box butter cake and add the milk. Hey, however you make it, long as the taste is the same. Hey, Corey, how are you? Okay, how are the mosquitoes? Oh, that's a very good question, Michael. Okay, so the mosquitoes love me. They love my skin. I don't care wherever I go. I need to check my blood type because whatever my blood type is, they love it. So dang it. Did I throw the bottle away? I hope I didn't throw the bottle away because I want to take a picture so I can show y'all. But I found something called Skin So Soft from Avon. It's a lotion. And when I tell you it worked wonders, and I tell you it worked wonders because when I was in the Virgin Islands, when I did my volunteer trip, I kid you not, I got bit up like over 300 times. But this time using that Skin So Soft, I got minimal bites. When people were scratching at the monkey sanctuary because we're in the middle of the jungle, they were like, "Tiffany, you're not getting bit up." And I'm like, I don't feel nothing. So I'm telling you that it was very, very good. So the mosquitoes did not bother me. Normally they do. So I'm glad I found a product that helps out with the mosquitoes. I hear like odorless garlic peels. You can always use DEET, but I've been using DEET for years and they don't care about that DEET. So, oh, and the good thing about this mosquito repellent from Skin So Soft, it actually had sunscreen in it, which, you know, people think Black people don't burn, but we do. So you definitely need that sunscreen. It's super hot. Mom was like, "You look a little dark since you came back." So I definitely pretty sure I got darker. So at least the sunscreen was able to protect me because I can put it all over. You can put it on your face and everything, and it works out really well. Okay, so yes, Jones, so Skin So Soft. Tanisha said, "What about the evenings?" Tanisha, when you say what about the evenings, are you saying the weather is still hot? I mean, being by the beach is nice. It doesn't get really cold, but the what do you call it? The winds from the beach is really nice. So it's still not cold. It's actually really good. Hey Kimberly, how are you? Okay. Oh, so De'Aaron is still here. Okay, so De'Aaron talked to Tanisha. She was asking me about the drone video footage. So maybe you can hook up with her because she said she's gonna be in Playa and Tulum. Okay, yes. And okay, what else? What else happened, or what else did I want to tell you about? Hi Camille, how are you? Tell me your questions out. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank now. I just can't remember what I was about to say after this or what else I wanted to tell you about. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know. I just know that I had a wonderful time in Mexico. Oh, so people say, am I going back to Mexico? Yes, I'm going back. I will probably be back in November. So if you are going to be there or you want to go or whatever, slide in my DM. So people always ask me about tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. I do plan trips. So I don't mind you in my inbox, but this is why I like to do live so I can answer all of your questions in one. I will answer inboxes, but just know that if you're asking me to plan your trip, I'm charging to plan your trip. But if you have like a quick one or two question, I can answer that. But yes, hopefully this has answered a lot of your questions. We talked about COVID stuff. So people ask about COVID related stuff while you're in town. If you go into establishments, they probably will take your temperature. They will give you hand sanitizer. You still have to wear your mask. I can't say that everybody just walking around has their mask on. Obviously, if you're at the beach, you can social distance there, so people don't have masks on. I think on the beach, and so like Walmart and Playa, they only allow one person per family. So I'm with my friend, and we walk up. So we're like, okay, we knew this already. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go in separately. Well, we didn't get a chance to. That man stepped right in front of us and was like, only one of y'all can go in there. I was looking like, but we're not family because it said that's what it said in Spanish. But anyway, he would not let me go in that store with her in Walmart, and so I was like, did he stop us because we're black? I think America, we have so much race related things going on that we automatically think things are race related. So I was so heated that he did not let me go in that store. That I was so annoyed because I'm like, how does that stop COVID that we can't go in together? But anyway, I noticed when I'm looking at the door, he did stop everybody, and it wasn't just us. It appeared that way because he stepped straight to us, and we were the only blacks at the time trying to go into the store. But he ended up stopping everybody that came there as a family. So if you're trying to go to Walmart, act like you're separate. If you're with the same person, one person go in, and 5 minutes later, another person go in. Yes, yeah, that's where Michael. Yes, only one per family, but they consider that they gonna say we family anyway. I'm like, we're not family though. Some places don't allow old people. Okay, well, I didn't know about the old people thing, and I heard that they were doing separate days for men and separate days for women. That's what I heard, but that wasn't the case. They didn't stop women. It was just like, oh, per family. Also in Playa, I did a 3D museum. We were the only ones in there. So we got some good photos because the guy that worked there took all our photos. I haven't posted any of those photos yet. So that's another thing that you can do is go to the 3D museum. And so what else happened? I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, so we talked about COVID stuff. We talked about weather. We talked about mosquitoes. We talked about things to do. Okay, so it all depends on the stores. Not every store does that. Yeah. That was like the only store that I feel like I tried to go into. The other either were restaurants or like open air stores, which the vendors want you to go in there. Costco's only allows one person per card. Okay, I didn't see Costco's out there, and we didn't try to go to Costco's. So I'm not surprised though. And yeah, a lot of people ask like, oh, they have this in Mexico, they have that. I'm like, yeah, Mexico's pretty close to America, so I'm not surprised that they do have those stores. But yes, they have those stores. And then when you talk about the language barrier, you can always use Google Translate. Make sure you download the offline version of Google Translate. That way that if you don't have Wi-Fi, that you still can use your translator. If you're at restaurants, you can point out stuff. Sometimes the menu is in Spanish and English. Learn like some basic words like papa fritas is French fries, frijoles is beans, arroz is rice, pollo is chicken. So those are words that I grew up knowing because I'm in California. There's a lot of Spanish speakers here. I have family that speak Spanish too. So those are basic words or food that you should learn because that's kind of what you're eating, unless you're eating I don't know what's the word for steak, but like just very simple stuff that you know that you're gonna eat. Just practice those before you come, and it just makes it easier. And again, practice those numbers because those numbers is usually when you're talking about money, so you know how much they're saying. So what is it? 40 was like catorce, 15 is like 15. So just like learn very basic words. El pollo loco, right? What is el pollo loco? El pollo loco is crazy chicken. So yeah, absolutely. So like I said, like yeah, so that tells you pollo. We all have el pollo loco out here. So steak is carne asada. Oh, okay, I know carne asada. So carne asada is steak. Okay, thanks, Michael. Michael be helping me out on these lies. Yeah, so definitely just learn like some little simple words. Like I said, and if you like hire a driver, you can try to get a driver that speaks English, if that's something that you choose to do. Or like I said, the taxis. Tulum is so small. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about the colectivos. So there's something called colectivo, and that's what the local people use, and they're like these small buses. There's definitely no social distancing on colectivos. So if you don't want that, then don't take those. But those are a cheaper form of transportation. So, like, let's say I took the Colectivo from Playa to Tulum one day, and it was probably like less than 100 pesos to take the Colectivo. So it's again about how much you want to spend to get to these different places. The hotel zone. Oh, so a lot of people ask about the pictures that I've taken. So some of the pictures I've taken were in the hotel zone, and the hotel zone has all those Instagrammable places. And the Instagrammable places it's a stretch of where the beaches are, and so they have like Tulum is like very like artsy. So they have like all these like interesting art and like signs. Like one of the signs I had says "Follow your dreams." There's one sign up that says "Forgive yourself." So they have like all these inspirational like quotes around the city. So you just have to find them. They're there. And if you like taking pictures, Tulum is definitely the place to get some of those good pictures. And like I said, I've been posting some of them, and I'll continue to post more. And anything else that I'm forgetting that you guys have questions about? Let me know. I've been on here for an hour and 5 minutes, so I'll stay on a little bit longer to answer any other questions. But if you guys don't have any questions, then I'll get off. Michael says you can pay the driver not to pick anyone else up, but don't do that during the day. That's taking the Colectivo away from the locals who need it. Oh, I didn't even know that that was an option. So obviously, if you're taking the Colectivo, it's gonna probably take a little bit longer because it's like a bus. They're dropping people off. But if you have time, I was never in a rush while I was in Mexico, which is great. It's good when you don't have to rush or you don't have to be somewhere. And so that way you can take your time with things. So I don't mind taking a Colectivo simply because I wasn't in a rush. So I can take the slower route, enjoy the scenery, or go to sleep because I tend to fall asleep on car rides. And like I said, it's about, I guess if you weren't taking, because the Ado bus doesn't stop anywhere. I think goes straight from Playa to there. We didn't stop anywhere. And probably was like 40 minutes. It was very quick to get there. Okay, so Courtney said, is any Uber in Tulum? Nope, Uber's in Tulum. You guys are relying on taxis only. And I mentioned this before, negotiate before you get in the taxi, okay? And remember, taxis are going to start off at the most expensive price. So your goal is to talk them down. So they're probably, if they say 300 pesos, I'm cutting that in half already to 150 pesos. Because I'm like, no, that's too much money. And some people, they'll be like, all right, they'll leave, or they'll be like, all right, I'll take it. Or you may have to go back. They'll say 300. I'll say 150. They'll say 160. I'll say 140. So it's really like this bargaining game. And like I said, I'll walk away if I don't want to pay for it. I just won't. And they'll walk away if they don't want to take the price either. So it's really just up to you to negotiate. If you don't want to negotiate, you don't have to. But just know that you're probably going to be paying the highest particular price that they have if you don't bargain with them. But it's up to you. And then shopping wise, there's all kind of stuff. I love the stuff in Tulum. They do a lot of weave work. And so if I could have brought stuff back, I probably would to like hang up in the house because I thought some of their weaving work was really, really nice. So yeah, you can there's literally open shops all along there. So nothing's hidden. You can always shop at any time. I tend to wait till I'm finished with the end of my shift end of my trip to shop. But I feel like since the stores are so open, I say, hey, if you're there, you can pick something up anytime that you want to. And yeah, I think that's it. So beaches, cenotes, water parks, place to stay. You can stay in the hotel zone. You can stay in a hotel or Airbnb. I chose Airbnb because it's still easy to get to the hotel zone. Again, I liked being in Central because when I was hungry, I didn't cook in my Airbnb, so I could just walk to a restaurant and walk back to my Airbnb, which was nice. But again, if you're staying in a hotel zone, they usually have restaurants either at your hotel or you can walk to some of those places. And a lot of people keep saying Miami is the new, no, Tulum is the new Miami. I would disagree with that. because I feel like Tulum is very chill. Miami is very turn up, like let's party, let's club. I didn't see any clubs in Tulum. Mind you, we're still in a pandemic, so even if there were clubs, they're probably not open. So if you want to go chill, you want to go relax, you want to go to the beach, Tulum is a place for you. If you're looking to turn up, yeah, you probably won't get it in Tulum. I don't know. I've technically been to Cancun, but I haven't stayed there, so I can't talk much about Cancun. But I hear Cancun is more of like the party city. But yeah, you don't want to be dancing in the club on people anyway, just because, yeah, we don't want to be touching on people. Yes. Okay. Are there any other questions about Mexico? Yes, and like I said, I will be back. I will be going back out there in November. So if you're gonna be there in November, holler at me. Because I will be there. So she just said, how was Wi-Fi? I'm gonna work remote. So Wi-Fi was good. I had no issues with Wi-Fi in my Airbnb, and there's also Wi-Fi at most of the restaurants have Wi-Fi. And I think you can go to like some, what do you call it, places to work. There are some places that you can find to work. There was one day, I think there was that Thursday before I left, the power went out in the whole city. Because I was at this restaurant eating tacos and I was staying trying to get on the Wi-Fi to change my flights. And I left there because I wanted to go to the next meetup. And so I got there and I was like, hey, what's the code? And she was like, the Wi-Fi just went out. So Wi-Fi had went out everywhere. But that was the first outage that I had experienced the whole time I was there. And it probably was out for probably like an hour, and then it was okay for the rest of the time. But for the most part, I feel like the Wi-Fi works. They say that Tulum is the jungle, so I guess depending on where you stay at, maybe that it could affect it. But like I said, my Airbnb was in Central, which is not the jungle part. So again, I had no issues with Wi-Fi or power outages in my Airbnb at all. So you should be fine with Wi-Fi. There's a lot of remote workers that work down there, and they are completely okay. But there are different there's something called Sky Roam. So there are different things that you can use where if the Wi-Fi doesn't work, then you can have your own device just in case, especially if you know you have to work down there. I wasn't working, so but it was funny how the Wi-Fi went at the time that I feel like I really needed it. But it was cool because I was still able to finally call and change my flight because of the Wi-Fi wasn't working. But I think you should be okay. Yeah, you should be good. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions before we call it a night? Again, thank you so much for tuning into my lives. I'm gonna try to keep doing these every Thursday, get back on a schedule so you guys will be used to having me come on here. Because you guys are awesome, and before COVID hit, you guys are coming on watching me. And I appreciate it. So yeah, we'll see what the topic will be about next week, because although we're not traveling everywhere and the borders are still closed a couple of places, we are still able to travel. Like I said, there is a list floating about where we can travel to. I hear South America is starting to slowly, or Colombia is starting to slowly open. Jamaica's open. Check. Okay, I'm bad with geography, y'all. So somebody can help me with this. So I hear that some parts of Europe I feel like we can go to, but then some parts are part of the EU. I think that's how you say it, where you can go. So I don't know. I'm not a big Europe person, although I was in Europe last year. I was in Spain. But yes, so check those out before you go, and always check out all the restrictions before you go anywhere. So she says, thank you for coming on, Michael. Thank you. You always help me out. And Joan, thank you so much for checking out the lives and talking with us tonight. So yeah, if there are no other questions, then I'll maybe stay like on a minute more, and then if not, I will see you guys next time. Oh, I still have fans available from Ghana. That's a side note. So if anybody's still interested in any of the fans, I have a couple more. Shout out to those people that have already bought fans. Thank you for your support. Those have already been shipped out, or I have already brought them to you, brought them to your house if you're in close to me in LA. So again, thank you so much for all your support and everything else as I go through this traveling journey. I'm taking you guys along for the ride. People say I feel like I'm there with you, and that is literally my goal. My name on my blog is called Sweet Tiffy's Inspirations, and the reason why it is that is because my aim is to inspire people. I don't care if it's inspire people to travel or to just live life or to take an adventure. So when people tell me that I inspire them, you guys don't know how warm my heart is when I hear that, and that's genuine. That I really feel good because I want you to live your best life. And I want you to know that the pandemic has taught me that we literally only have one life to live. And so I want to make sure that while I'm here, I get a chance to experience new things. I don't want to live my life of regret, like, oh, I wish I would have done this. There was a sign, like I said, they have these inspirational things in Tulum. So there was a sign near my Airbnb. It's like before I die, and it had it in different languages. And so basically, it was like kind of like basically like, what is your bucket list? Like, what are these things that you want to accomplish? I'm hoping that you guys see me for, I'm super young, so I'm hoping you guys see me for the next 70, 80 years, and that I'll keep continuing. But for me, it's all about making memories, right? I mean, I think during the pandemic, I had nothing to hold on but my memories. We couldn't go nowhere. We were literally stuck, y'all. Can y'all believe it? We were stuck. Like this never, I can't say it never happened in history, but it's never happened in my time. I hear there was a Spanish flu, wasn't around for that. But what I'm saying, it's never happened before. So we all had to struggle with staying at home and not traveling. And people are like, I don't understand how people travel and why are you traveling, all this kind of stuff. People don't understand people's mental health capacity. And some people travel, they need it for their mental health. Like I said, I felt super peaceful in Mexico. Like whatever worries I had before I came, because of course I'm like, oh my God, it's COVID. Like I hope I don't get anything. And then you're flying and then you're just like hoping you don't get sick. But I just didn't have a worry at all down there. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know. They say that Tulum is a spiritual place. Like I didn't go to church or anything while I was down there, but that doesn't necessarily mean, we all know spiritual and church is different. But what I'm saying is I just felt at peace down there. So John says you absolutely inspire me. Thank you so much, John. I really, really appreciate that. So yes, I feel like although things are scary and it's scary to do something, I'm not telling you to travel because at the end of the day, you have to make your decision for yourself. But I do feel like sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and do those things that are scary or things that you wouldn't do. And you're like, oh, I'm so glad I made this decision. Like I definitely think I struggle with my decision, which is why when I missed my flight or missed my check-in time, I was kind of like, well, it's okay if I missed it. Like it's okay. And so I wasn't really tripping because I was still kind of like teetering, like, should I be going? Should I not be going? What's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Should I be doing these things? Of course, I love my mom, but she's always scared for me to go. Like, should you be going? Blah blah. So I just feel like sometimes you have to make those decisions based off of your own self. And even your own self is not necessarily trustworthy. And I say trustworthy as in sometimes you're like, should I trust my own judgment, right? But you have to be like, okay, you have to do this. All I can do is like pray and be like, Lord, please bring me back safely, bring me back with no heart harm or danger. I think we're on the yacht, and I was like, I did something. Somebody's like, what do you? I said, well, I'm praying. I said, I'm praying that we get back safely. Okay, that's if you're around me, I'm definitely praying. So if you don't like that, then we probably wouldn't be good friends. Okay, so Siobhan said, hey Siobhan, how are you? Siobhan said, I missed the live. Yes, we're at the end of the live, Siobhan. I know you asked about my YouTube video. I did post one. It's called Black in Tulum, so you can check that out. And Courtney says, you inspire me too. Now I want to go to Mexico. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney, for being on the lives too. I appreciate that. So yes, that was my little, I guess, inspirational talk for the night. So yeah, so I would say go out there and do it. Just take your precautions as you would anywhere. But one of the things that made me decide, okay, I'm going to travel is, Lord, I am so sorry for all the people that have lost their lives. Hey Jeffrey, how are you? Jeff is from Chubby Diaries, so you can check him out. But I think for me, I'm like, again, I'm so sorry about all the lives that have been lost during COVID. But at the same time, I'm like, we have to go to the store. We have to go to these different places where we're out with people. So I feel like if I'm going to resume some type of normalcy, that includes travel. And so, again, I'm not pressuring you or telling you to go. You have to make that decision on your own. But for me, I was like, I don't want to live my life in fear. I feel like I have been at home for, well, we were at home, what, 6, 7 months? Like, I don't know how long we were at home. So I felt like it was time for me to get out. And I think for me, it was one of the best decisions. As you know, I do solo travel and group travel. And I feel like this solo trip was the one where I've met way more people than I ever have as a solo traveler. Normally, there will be times where I meet up with people and then I'm solo, but this time I literally feel like I was never alone. I feel like I was with people every day. And that was simply because of a meetup or because walking down the street and saying, hey, I'm here by myself. Do you want to hang out? Or okay, let's go to the meetup now. We're gonna go to the beach. Like, let's just, hang out. So I definitely feel like I met so many wonderful people who maybe have came to Tulum, love the vibes. Like, I'm here for 2 weeks. And a couple, they're in the video. They were there for 2 weeks. They left and they went and got their kids, and now their kids are there for a month, and it's cool because they're remote learning. So long as they have Wi-Fi, they can learn. Have another person, she's also in the video, she graduated with her nursing degree, was there for 2 weeks, extended for a month, and she's chilling. Another person just signed their lease for a year. So these are inspiring stories for me because I've always wanted to do like Peace Corps and live out of the country. It didn't happen. Some other things happened, so I didn't go. But when I see these people, I say, wow, this is something that is attainable. This is something that I can do. Like, yeah, I feel like I can do it, and then like have a community there with me. And so I think a lot of times we're afraid to move because like we don't know anybody. It's new. We don't know what we're getting into. But I rest assured that if I move to Playa del Carmen or Tulum, I already have a network of people, of friends that will ultimately, I'm gonna say that's my family for the time. I have lots of family in California. We're very close, but if I were to move, I need a new network and a new community of people, and I feel like that is there in Mexico. So okay, let me get off my soapbox, y'all, because I can keep talking all night about the community and just how I felt and how peaceful I felt. And I think my aunt said that. She was like, I came, she was like, Timmy, you look just really happy in your picture. I was like, I thought I always look happy in my picture. She was like, yeah, Timmy, but this was different. I can see it. And I was like, oh. I said, well, yeah, I had a really, really good time. I had no complaints. Every day was a good day. And for that, I am super, super grateful to go down there and to come back safely. Okay. All right. Any more questions before I get off? Any more questions? If there are no more questions, I guess I will get off. Um, because if not, yeah, I will keep talking and y'all will have to keep listening to me. And I don't know if y'all want to keep listening to me ramble about my good time in Mexico. All right, so I don't see any more questions. I don't see any more comments. So again, thank you so much for coming on tonight and hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to start doing these back again every Thursday. We'll find something to talk about. And if there is a topic that you want to talk about, let me know so that we can put it in the queue. And if there are people that you want me to bring on, and maybe we'll try to get a guest next week. Maybe we will try to get a guest. Uh, Maybe a guest that lives in Mexico. So yeah, we'll try that next week because I know y'all like talking to me, but I'm pretty sure y'all like to get insight from other people because technically I'm just traveling to these places and I don't live there. And so having a different perspective from a traveler versus somebody that's living down there are two completely different things. And I think that would be cool to kind of showcase. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, you guys have a wonderful night and We shall talk to you later next week. And I love y'all and appreciate y'all. All right. Have a very good tonight and a good rest of the week. And have a wonderful weekend. All right. Bye bye. Peace.